welcome back to the For the Badge podcast. We're starting to see some regular faces here again. I'm so grateful. Patrick's back, Lewis is back, and of course, the man, the myth, the legend, X as well. I'm Jake. This is the For the Badge podcast. Let's go ahead and get started. I think last week's methodology worked well, and we'll work backwards, and we'll start with today. It was a crazy one. Back and
Yeah.
forth. I saw a meme that somebody posted that had a shot of all the lead changes in each of the games, and there was like 9 photos or something.
Oh, wow.
It was really cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But the obvious place to start is the Japan
classic world.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. I saw this thing. It was like, if this is the goal that puts Germany away to 2010's redeemed, and
Yeah,
it's the
Yeah.
airline, yeah.
for a
Yeah.
lamb.
So
You said Japan, right? This is their
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
I'm gonna lie
oh yeah, right.
about the sports channels because obviously they are looking to gaslight people because you've probably all seen the little thing where it says, "Oh, they're this close to not losing or not being eliminated." I'm like, because of my personal experience of so many bar experiences, I'm like, you do understand the ball is a circle. And they're like, well, if this was, if they had called this out, but if they did, that would be cheating. That would literally be cheating. Bar would think that they were losing, they were going to lose, didn't make a difference. So I'm proud of Japan, especially since if I think back correctly to the first time we talked, we were shocked that Japan. No, that was the second time, and we were shocked Japan got basically slapped around.
Mhm.
Japan said, "You know what? We're gonna clean this stadium, and we're gonna clean everyone's clocks." And I was all of it.
It's like,
Love it.
They got the
Love
karma, man. Yeah, they got the
absolutely.
karma. They're just racking it up.
Did y'all see their possession stats?
No.
17.7% was their possession for today.
Well, it was the
Yeah, they
same
said that was
style,
the
right?
lower.
That 2 punch. Same against Germany, same against Spain.
I read, oh gosh, I was trying to remember what the stat was. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it back up real quick. But only 2 teams have lost after completing over 700 passes, and it was Germany against Japan and Spain against Japan.
Oh my. Wow, that's a stat. That's awesome. Did
Yeah.
y'all see
Well,
the thing where they were talking about how the line is like if it were a vertical wall, the ball would have like been in the line, this digital wall that they can build 90 degrees up from the field, from the white line. And so the ball was technically like a millimeter past this vertical plane. He called it a plane. And so that's why the VAR overturned it.
It's
I mean-
it's the Ronaldo scored no he didn't argument all over again.
I mean, look at the picture. Look at the picture on BBC. That ball looks like it's 2 yards over the line.
I saw a blown up picture, and you can see like just that much of the ball is still in the white. I mean, it is
Yeah,
like the smallest margin possible.
But it's on it. It's on it.
Yep, exactly.
The thing is that if that was a goal, it wouldn't have been considered a goal. So
That's
if
true.
that's the case, you got to have the consistency. So that's where I didn't knock it, and I support. And I really don't like what ifs like that because it kind of steals away from what Japan did. I mean, Japan were good. They were very good. And they did what they needed to do. And Spain showed a huge chink in their armor because was that first game the best we were going to see of Spain going forward, period. And I saw a post. I don't know if you guys, it's this guy who writes for Barcelona all the time. And he said, he actually made a point that said Busquets is finished. And him actually being there is part of the problem that has been happening because Rodri's playing center half when he should be playing where Busquets is. And there would be more fluidity in the team. So is Enrique going to make changes going forward because you can't goof around anymore? So I think that was an interesting point that was being made.
That's the only real shock in that Spain lineup is Rodri in the center back.
Well, I think though that Enrique is. I mean, if you look at it, he brought a bunch of players from Barcelona. I think he's trying to play what he played with at Barcelona, and that includes Busquets. And maybe he changes it, but I don't see it.
No, I mean they dominated that game as far as the ball. They had all of the ball. And there definitely were some moments, I don't know if you got to see the game, X, but I thought Spain were all over them for a long time. You know, so just like Germany, the commentator actually said about the Germany game that they did enough to score enough goals. And did you get to see that one too? Because Musiala hit the bar 3 times, I think. And he was just cutting in all day. He's a menace.
Yeah.
Chelsea could use Musiala.
Yeah.
No, we got Nkunku.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we did.
Good.
We did. That's
How
true.
excited are you about that?
It's not the answer. Again, it's poorly short. It's poorly short. It's whatever.
Yeah. Not to mention, y'all see that FA Cup draw?
Yeah.
You see-
Well, at least we won't have the fixture congestion.
You see that?
We'll be healthy. We'll be healthy. James back. We get back. We'll get Conte back. We'll be healthy.
Does he
We'll
play?
be
Does he
healthy.
play the starters?
For like 3 weeks.
Do you think he plays the starters in that FA Cup game?
I mean, I could see it.
He has to. I think he has to. There's
He's
no
gotta
other
get a
chance
result.
to go with. Where else? We are knocked out. We're not going to win the league. Champions League is a far fetch for us this year.
You can do it, man. You can do the Champions League. No one thought you could win the Champions League both the other times you won it.
2021, yeah.
And it's interesting.
All right. Bring in a striker in January. Bring in someone who can score goals, and we'll contend for champs.
Well,
If
Patrick,
we don't have that, we'll get one.
earlier about Havertz playing down the middle.
Plain as Tim.
Hey, did you guys see his? There was a picture of Havertz winning the Player of the Game, and he
He looks so bad.
pressed. I was like, God.
Even when he does well, it's in the worst situation for him. Poor
It's the
guy.
worst.
Yeah.
No.
The last time he scored 2 goals for Germany. They didn't win either in that 3-3 in the Nations League with England.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, he's a United fan, and so he's critical of them as well. And he said he made a joke, which as a history guy, it was funny. He said Germany may have to put the wall back up so they can separate West Berlin from East Berlin so they can get rid of the best players. Like, that's the scariest thing I've ever heard.
Damn.
We got to think West Germany
Oh my
was
god.
insanely good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
When they had the rivalry, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was fun. I don't know. Did you guys see this stat? There was a stat about Mueller where it showed his stats in I think it was his first World Cup, and maybe his first 2 World Cups, and they were insane. Or it might have been his first one, and they showed how he fell off in the last 2, and he was on pace to be like the most accomplished World Cup player.
Yeah.
And then just it fell off. And the bad part is the German team didn't actually get worse player quality.
Worse. Right.
I feel it's confusing what happened to him.
It's wild. I mean, maybe he's been in the Bayern team in the Bayern starting 11 for 27 years now. Maybe I mean, at the end of the day, 37 years old, 36 years old or whatever, you slow down. You can't, it just is what it is, and that's not to say that he should have scored a bunch of goals in 2018 or he should have scored a bunch of goals this time out in the cup because Germany were terrible. And it goes to show that last World Cup was the first time they didn't get out of the group in 80 years. And
Wow.
so now in back-to-back cups, definitely the first time Germany's not gotten out of this group stage in back-to-back cups.
Riots. I would have
yeah.
I
riot.
think it's a bit of arrogance too, though. I think there's a level of arrogance in the team that I think causes that, and I think this is where and you see a little bit of in Spain, where I think Brazil doesn't have it as much, even though I mean they got battered by them obviously in the past, but I think Brazil has a different kind of hunger because I think their success hasn't been recent enough. And I think if your success specifically in the Mundial, right, it's been far enough away. There's a hunger when you know you're a powerhouse. So I think Brazil is really, really scary looking right now in comparison.
Well, if you think about it, they did win. They won 58, 62, and then 70. And then they waited 20 years
Jeez.
and won again. So 70 to 94 was their 24-year wait. It's been 22. It's been 20 exactly
Wow.
since 02.
Well, you know,
If you're into stats.
a weird thing that they showed also, because and I hope everything works out with Pele, but they were talking about he was having some health issues, and an awful meme, but a meme all the same, showed that every time a legend of the team, of the a national team was either ill or passed, that team won a cup directly after their passing. Because like after Maradona passed, even though they made 14,000 cups for Messi to win, Argentina did win a cup, and they showed some other like legends and how that happened. And then it shows Neymar kind of rubbing his hands together. And I mean, we don't even know if Neymar is going to play. Well, we know he's not going to play the next game because there's no reason for him to play in the next.
No, Neymar will sit. There it goes.
But it does kind of matter, for the next one. Because I mean, I guess if they win, they would play the second place team from H, I think, which could possibly either put them against Ghana, Portugal, or Uruguay, or South Korea. I mean, I guess I'll give all four a chance to be in second.
I mean, yeah, it's still there to be had. I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, because Portugal has 6, so they're unlikely to be second. So it'll be Ghana, South Korea, or Uruguay would be the second place team that Brazil would get, which I think they would beat whoever that is. So
Yeah.
I mean, if
it was Ghana though, that would be fun.
If South Korea come for it and beat Portugal, and then Ghana beat Uruguay, by enough. It's 3 goals, so they'll have to overturn 3 goals. But if South Korea combined with Ghana winning, they could still do. Ghana could take first in the group, and Portugal go through second.
Yeah.
But Portugal already advanced, so they may play.
They're
the scrubs.
Well, I think Ronaldo will play because he's still angry that his hair touched the ball, and so
They took that goal from him, didn't they?
Were you guys shocked? Like the next morning, that was literally a news cycle story is that Ronaldo didn't get the goal. I'm like, are we really that hard up for stories in this wonderful event that we got to talk about Ronaldo?
Ronaldo not getting right.
But it is Ronaldo, so.
But speaking of stories, Morocco winning the group.
Fantastic.
Yo!
Oh my goodness!
Out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
I love that. I love to see that.
Ziyech actually doing something. I mean,
it's amazing, isn't it?
All these former Chelsea players. All these former Chelsea players having a.
He's still with Chelsea.
Wait a minute, no, they.
What's so cool is I have a buddy who's Egyptian and he's a Liverpool fan, and like everybody from like the Middle East is like jumped on the Morocco thing. So he's like they're the only one representing the area, so like everyone is going to be like supporting them going forward, which I think will be huge as far as crowd advantage, being there, because I mean the crowd matters at this point too.
Oh yeah,
now it will, yeah.
There's this dude that I played soccer with back in Charleston for the Plague Rats. You remember the Plague Rats, Xavier? Do you remember Jamal, the guy that was on the blue team with me? he is from Morocco, and he is blowing Facebook up with posts and stuff. I remember one time, it was part of a season where the Playgrats Club or whatever had two different teams, and so we had the Playgrats Derby in the middle of the season, and my team was down at the end of the game like 2-1, and this was like we were all friends, we were all going to the bar afterwards
Yeah.
together, but it was still like a rivalry match on the field.
I'm not
And
losing to them, right?
I scored the equalizer at like the 90th minute, 2-2. Jamal comes running over and grabs my face and kisses me on the lips and runs away. Like, I was stunned. I just stood there for a second, like, what just happened?
What just happened?
I bet he's going crazy today after their win over Canada. Just freaking out.
They looked great. They looked great. You know, I mean, the couple that, I mean, the funny thing, I guess that group was meant to be that way because then you have Croatia, Belgium putting whatever that was they put out there.
Oh,
I had two jokes that I thought were hilarious. The first joke was they showed Lukaku punch a wall, and then they said, well, that's the first time he hit the target, right? So the game was so that one was hilarious. But then the second one was, and my friend who made this joke is a Chelsea fan, so he was happy to see Lukaku kind of gone.
Sure.
And he watched it, and he said he went back to watch replay. He's like, man, there's no way to fix. He didn't fix that. There's no way that wasn't match fixing the mismet shots that blatantly. It was. I mean,
that's Romelu Lukaku. That's donkey foot Lukaku.
Move to Italy and start match fixing.
And the funny thing is, now I joked with Jake earlier today. I said, well, you know, I'm fine because as a City fan, Gundogan is going back to Manchester and De Bruyne is going back, and they can hang out with Haaland. So I'm fine since we have to play Chelsea like 14 times in January, and then we have to play Liverpool like 35 times.
That's right. Y'all's league game is like right after the FA Cup game.
All back to back to back. It's whatever at this point. But yeah, I'm like, hey, good, send those guys back. You know, we're good. But it's funny because the slander De Bruyne is getting for not progressing. And my first, I mean, I've been vocal about it. It's Martinez, which, I mean, this guy.
He's gone. I mean,
he should be.
He's not gone. He's the director. He's the footballing director of Belgium.
He directs nothing. He directs losing.
He directed them straight into the ground.
He
turned a golden age into a bronze age.
Did he appoint himself coach? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, he did.
Is he stepping down from the director position or just the head coach position?
It said coach.
Wow.
So that means which means he still has influence. Whoever's in charge of the FA has to get rid of him because there's no way that team he had didn't win a Euro, the fake tournament that they made up for Europeans, whatever that's called, the
Nations
League.
I agree with Klopp on that one. That's a garbage tournament. So they didn't win a Euro, a World Cup, or even the fake one at all in his tenure. And so he had 5 tournaments and they won nothing. Come on, man. That's you. And I won't say negative things about like who he is as a person, but the results you've produced as a manager are below mediocre.
Yeah.
I mean, how long were Everton he was at Everton for a while, wasn't he? And they were perennial 15th place or something like that.
They were just above relegation.
Yeah.
Safe.
Well, I said this to Jake earlier. I blame Manchester City for Roberto Martinez being where he is because the year they were firing Mancini, it was the year that City lost in the FA Cup final to Wigan, who got relegated, and so they thought Martinez was this genius because he beat City, even though they left all the context out that the manager was leaving and everything was an upheaval. And from that moment, he kept getting good jobs because he won a cup with the relegated team.
I mean,
he didn't do anything to win that game. City lost that.
I felt like Croatia just stood up. You know,
man. Well, you know, but
they didn't even need to. They knew they didn't. If they didn't lose, they're good. So they just kind of stood up and.
Yeah,
that's kind of their the way they are, though. Do you think that's right, Patrick? That even in 2018, they were professional about it.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, I watched. I didn't get to watch as much because I was in meetings, but I was watching off and on, and I just. I mean, first off, just all those misses by Lukaku was hilarious. I mean, it got to a point where it was absolutely hilarious because you're just like, okay, how's he gonna miss this one? And the one that he missed that came off of his chest, like it's right there. Like, how do you miss? You
That's
know?
Romelu Lukaku.
Oh, yeah,
I know, but
Yeah, donkey
He didn't have
foot.
to kick. He didn't even have to kick the ball. If he turned his body towards the goal, it goes in.
He's a donkey.
It was
He's
infectious
got
because
rules.
it was infectious because in between like his fourth and fifth miss or something, one of the crosses hit Toby Alderweireld, or however you say his name, like right in the face, and then went out of bounds. Like he tried to head it, and it hit him in the face and went off to the side. I was like, man, they are
well, did y'all
they are
see?
shambles.
Why would you even bring? Like, just don't even put him on, bro.
Did y'all see the ball that was it was De Bruyne? I think he played at Carrasco, and Carrasco skied it. Like it was Sergio Ramos PK against, oh gosh, who was it? Maybe it was against Bayern. Like skied it. And it was like, how do you, huh?
Carrasco should have scored twice in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw the expected goals, and it was like 8 for Belgium. They didn't score a single one. But no, I mean, it was. I agree. It felt like Croatia's like, if we have to go win it, we will, but we're really not going to try because we don't have to. And they gave Belgium all the chances in the world. Belgium couldn't convert a single one.
Yeah. Mm.
And I wanted to go back real quick on the
And
whole
that's
Germany
that's
thing.
my thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
No. I was just
Oh,
saying.
I was
like,
gonna go. I was gonna go back on the whole Germany thing when they won the World Cup. If you think about it, a lot of that team played together at Bayern, and now you've got all these pieces that are just they're not playing the same system, and you can see it
that can be said for
consistently.
that Spain team that won too. That
Yeah,
was really just a mix of Barcelona and Madrid, which the German team was a very heavy mix of Bayern and Borussia.
yeah.
So
And I mean, but you see it like you got Rudiger who's now at Real. Of course, you got Cruz. You've got Havertz at Chelsea. You've got Kimmich at
Musiala,
Bayern, and
where's Musiala? Is he at Bayern?
no,
I'm not
maybe.
sure.
Hold on.
Hey, a question: How much do you think is a miss that Kroos decided not to play? Because I know he said he did. I mean, obviously he would have got picked, but he said he didn't want to play this time. And do you think he's a big miss in the result that they got in this tournament?
Musiala played so well in this tournament. I don't think that Kroos would have added anything he didn't.
he's at Bayern.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
at
he's
Bayern.
a Bayern.
So their front four to start out today was all Bayern. It was Gnabry,
Mhm.
Mueller, Leroy Sané, and Musiala.
Dude, imagine lining up against Bayern Munich with Sané and frickin' Mane across from each other. Like, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't have the backs to track these guys. I'm good.
Yeah, agreed.
Dude, as a left back, like I've been there, I'm not. I don't
Yeah.
want to run that all day. I don't want to run that all day. Like, no.
Yeah, Chelsea. I mean, somebody's gonna have to run him in Champions League, so you might get to see him. Oh, Reece
That's why
James.
Reece James is coming back, baby.
Yeah, you hope. We'll definitely get to that in a couple months. Sad for Canada. Brilliant,
Yeah.
brilliant for Morocco. Kind of
I
sad for
texted you.
Canada.
I texted
You
I
know
was
the
like,
thing
yeah,
about
Canada.
the thing about Canada that I really we talked about this after the first game where Davies missed that PK. I'm wondering if they just set out to say, hey, this first game we're going to go all out and see what happens, because they just did not look the same after it. They looked I don't want to say tired because that would be stupid, but they just didn't look the same.
You said it. You said it before this all started when we had this first when we had the first podcast about the World Cup, even leading up to it. You brought it up. 90% of that Canadian squad isn't playing.
Yeah.
They're out of form, and you can strike gold once, you can hit it right, you can be on all firing on all cylinders. But if you're not consistently doing that, you're gonna. It just looked like you said. Like I texted Jake earlier when I was watching the game. I said, man, they're not a bad team. They just look, and you hit the nail on the head. They just looked out of form.
Mm-hmm.
Davies had an amazing tournament. He's in form.
Yeah,
Well, he's because he plays at Bayern Munich,
exactly.
and he's not like in the MLS where they've been off for a month or so or however long. But yeah, the day before was pretty exciting. I mean, it's all these third games have been exciting, but the day before was pretty awesome as well. Argentina beats Poland. I thought the other group kind of had more of a interesting games. Maybe not interesting, but I'm really happy that Australia beat Denmark because it's just good for the tournament that Denmark are no longer in.
Yeah.
Those
I'm telling you, the videos and the the videos and whatnot from Australia after they won, just incredible. I mean, that's we talked about passion, right? We talked about passion last time, and I mean, that was it fully on display, and it was beautiful. It was pure.
It makes you smile watching that.
Oh yeah,
Love it, man. And ever since the 2014 World Cup, where Timmy Cahill scored a screamer versus the Netherlands, but Australia gave 3 goals in every one of those games, I've been like low key, like want to see them do good. Just because if you go back and actually watch the full 90 of all 3 of those games, they didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve to just look like total garbage in that tournament. But I'm glad they were able to. And according to the media, according to things I've heard, the coach didn't even believe. He was kind of low key, like, yeah, we're gonna come compete.
Well,
We're gonna
after
come.
taking
well, they were the last team in.
4-1 to France first day, like it's gonna be pretty hard.
Hey, they did it, man. They were able to do it.
They did. I'm proud of them, man. But like you said, I'm really happy Denmark's out. I hate Christian Eriksen. You know, you can go play for Tottenham with one thing. Go play for Man U after that. Yeah, I hate you. You're good. You're trash.
You have no sympathy for him because he like literally had a heart attack on the field. Or?
None.
He was dead.
Clinically dead for like 8 minutes.
There's a lesson to be learned here. Don't play for Man U or Tottenham. Prime. All I'm saying.
Oh man.
But yes, I'm glad Denmark.
I can't talk him as much as the next guy, but
Wow.
It's funny.
Hats off to him. Not many people can do what he did. Love the guy, but no.
It was funny as an aside. I don't know if you all saw this meme too, and then I want to make a mention of France. They showed they said what Premier League team is Belgium most like, and they put the Belgian flag behind the Tottenham Hotspurs, and I was like, that's got to be the meanest thing I've ever seen.
Great. That was a very Spursy result today. I mean, it really, really was.
Man, that's cold, man.
one of my favorite Spurs jokes is that it's not about the trophies we won; it's about the friends we made along the way.
That's all they got.
That's all they got. Because they
won
definitely don't have trophies.
one time. They won that Audi Cup.
Oh,
they did win the Audi Cup. Can't forget about that.
They made a cup for them to win. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's the honorable mention cup.
I was gonna say though, I was hopeful that Mexico was gonna go out of the tournament without scoring a single goal, but honestly, how they went out was just as great.
Oh yeah, that hurt, man.
So close. Oh, muy cerca. Oh.
And then the manager got fired immediately.
So bad.
Faster than you would have.
I was telling Xavier, it would have been just the height of World Cup beauty and just incredible drama if Memo Ochoa came up for the corner kick in the 93rd and sent Mexico through with a goal from the keeper.
I would build a statue for that man here.
I'm begging that to happen. I don't even care if it happens in the World Cup, in the FA Cup or the Champions League, or like to win the league, like something. I want to see a goalkeeper put his name up in lights. Like,
well, didn't Alisson do that for Liverpool?
Yeah, wasn't that last year?
Was it?
they won a cup last year from him doing it.
No
Yeah.
way.
I
I'm
think
pretty
did.
sure that he did. Or maybe it was 2 years
Oh,
ago.
He won a game if it wasn't a cup.
Yeah, he ended up
I'm
winning.
gonna have to go back and find that because that's like the greatest moment ever. No,
It was
but
like the 95th minute, and he scored, and they ended up winning. And
that's awesome.
I think it might have been the year they won the league.
I
Like
think
it was
so.
one of the ones that like
19th
they
year.
had to have it, or City was going to win the league.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
but I mean, what's
Maybe
the,
against Newcastle. I want to say it was against Newcastle for some reason.
West Brom,
West Brom?
Albion, yeah, 2-1 on Sunday.
there you go.
Runs up in the 90. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just a game, but yeah,
That's still
Yeah.
awesome. I love it.
2016
Oh man.
it looks like. No, sorry,
No.
they do their dates back. 21 on the 16th.
They
Okay.
do the dates back.
It's backwards.
They do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but my question about France, I had a question about them. Does this the loss to Tunisia? Is that a chink in the armor? Because I mean, I feel like their
Did you
second
see
team.
their lineup?
9 changes.
They had
But I mean, you're-
Camavinga playing left back.
You're on the national team,
They
right?
didn't care.
They had
They didn't care.
Guendouzi as a right attacking mid.
I cannot stand Guendouzi. I
What-
just
It's about
he's in the Arsenal reject squad right now down in Marseille.
I know tournaments like these that they're about momentum. I know you don't want to get anybody hurt, but I feel like momentum kind of matters a little. And so, I mean, I get it. I mean, I mean, no one was worried about them going through, but I feel like it's the way that you've seen results so far. I wouldn't want to take a loss if I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Only because it's in your head, and all what that does is doesn't matter who's out there. If whoever sees you next is like, hey man, well that team beat them, and I think once you
Well,
have,
I think you're onto something there. It's that perceived weakness. You want to have this edge when you step on the field, like Manchester City do now, like Brazil do with the hype behind them, like Arsenal do for once in the last 20 years. You know, it's when you step on the field,
Watch it.
you're worried. You're worried about playing them because there's this perceived notion that they are the bee's knees, that they are the best of the best, that they are going to bring it to you no matter what, that they are going to win the game. So like you already kind of come into it as a loss. So you don't want to show a chink in that armor
right?
because you don't want the next person to line up and be like, oh, if Tunisia took it to you, I got you, bro.
And I mean, you've taken that goal advantage you have. You're like a lot of teams come in a goal down from that, and you know, I think you lose a little bit of it, especially just looking going forward. Because like
I think Jake texted me earlier today. I don't think they expected to lose even with this B team. I don't
exactly
think that.
that's what I'm saying. I just think that's the issue because like Argentina kind of had that going into the tournament, and then they lost. And I think Australia now seeing that is like, well, hell, we could beat them.
We can do it. Yeah, they can do it. We can do it. Yeah, Japan's over here stomping out. Yeah.
How does Japan lose to Rica but beat Germany and Spain?
In Spain. Exactly.
But that kind of goes behind my point of momentum. I prefer to just whoop everybody's ass going forward after I have my hiccup because that means I fix my problem.
Right.
I'm telling you though, I saw that lineup and I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah. Baffled.
It was horrible. What is he doing?
True. But
It's in Potter, man. It's like, what rotation are you planning on playing here mid-game, man? Like, you have Raheem Sterling playing literally center back right now. Smallest man on the field.
well, because like France is playing Poland next, and I mean, if Lewandowski is dangerous as hell, and I mean,
He needs one too, bro. He's hungry.
If you saw a team win with only 17% of possession, you're like, well, hell, I don't even need the ball. I just need a shot.
That's the way Poland play too.
And that's all Lewa needs. Like, that's all Lewa needs is one chance. Like,
that's it. I know I saw they put garbage out there, and I say it relative. It's still France, and they're deep. So there's no reason that a deep team like that should lose realistically. And I blame Guardiola for me having the mentality of, I don't. You should be able to play every position on the field. You play football, so I mean, I I
Yeah.
I feel like it might be a little bit of chink because I know before that game I was like, France kind of looks like they're gonna walk, and
Dog walk is what I told one of my friends.
It
I
must
said,
be
bet on
said.
France. They're gonna dog walk.
It must be said though, when they put the A team back in at the end of the game, they were all over 'em. They were absolutely all over them, and it took VAR to keep France from tying them.
Well,
You
when
know,
you have a full-on gazelle on the field who can kick a soccer ball, you're not. There's not much anyone can do. Like,
it's crazy. It's nuts. Mbappe's nuts, dude.
but
He's,
even then they didn't. And so again, if I'm looking at them and I say, hey, you know what? They don't take us seriously, and even when they put their best pressure on, I still win.
yep.
They won. And for me, I mean, I look at it as my bulletin board material is if you don't take us seriously, that means we're gonna find a time when you don't take the game seriously. And I mean, it's enough. I mean, managers are smart, man, and these professional guys only need a small thing. And while I mean, Michael Jordan is not like an idol of mine, I think that everybody's my enemy mentality matters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that man Danda was still a thing. Like,
Yeah, I didn't know either.
what?
the goalkeeper, Steve
Mandanda.
Mandanda.
Yeah.
I thought he was no longer a thing. Like,
For who?
for France, he was the keeper in that game.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know who that was.
Well, I mean, I knew who it was. I think he plays for Marseille, or he used to play for Marseille. But
I
like,
used to play for Tottenham.
No, Lloris
no,
didn't
that's
play.
Lloris. Lloris didn't play.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, man, bandana over here.
Hold on. Now I gotta look and see. Let's see. He is 37.
Yeah.
He plays for Stadia Rennais. I think
Mm.
that's what it is.
Ren, yeah.
Ren. Yeah. Is it Ren?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, in France, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He played for Crystal Palace. Yeah, okay.
Okay. But like, I didn't think he was still a thing. I thought,
Yeah.
you know. So when I saw him on the starting lineup, I'm like, yeah, they're really not trying today.
Not taking it seriously at all, yeah. But that's the beauty of the World Cup, man.
That when Lloris gets a break, man. Like,
Lloris is suspect, dude.
Yeah, he is.
not the same.
Holding it down in that Tottenham goal, man. That's how they do it. No. But yeah, like Lewis was saying, it's the World Cup, man. Poland are they like to play like that. If you watch their games, they'll sit back, they'll soak up all that pressure, they'll sit in a deep low block, and they'll look to hit Liwa on the counter. I think it can be successful, but if France do take it seriously,
I mean, France should.
It'll be like them rolling up with horses against tanks, baby. Horses against tanks.
nice one.
Roll it one more time.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it'll probably be the same result as that was as well, if I had to guess. But yeah, as well, Australia will be Australia encouraged as well. You know, I mean, I know it's tough to go against such a superstar, and they'll be against the crowd. I don't know if you saw the Argentina-Mexico game.
Yeah.
It was a ton of just a ton of blue and white. The Albi Celeste were everywhere, man. Just a ton of blue and white. So that'll be the same. Australia were really outnumbered, like as far as their fans. They've been the whole tournament. So.
Well, and you know, but even that one, it was a chink because Messi getting his penalty saved. Again, all you need is a small thing, and that's enough to go forward. Like I think that matters in these things because a couple of guys and I were talking about it. The winner, I am now. I mean, I thought. You know, I think I was rooting for the Portugal-Argentina final, which I don't see happening. I really think that's unlikely. But I think it'll be a surprise winner this year. I mean, I think I picked Portugal, but I think it will be a surprise. I don't think who we think is going to win the tournament this year.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Right there.
I believe that we will win.
We
Dude,
can still find a way to score goals. That's what the
I won't lie to you. I mean, I'm an American. I love being an American. I don't really talk trash, but I would talk trash every day until my dying day if the United States wins the World Cup this
Oh
year.
my God, yeah.
Every day.
I was thinking about it today, man. I was thinking about it today. I was surprised at the thought I had that I would literally give up the chance of Arsenal to ever, and I mean ever, win a Champions League to have a USA World Cup victory.
I would trade others. Yep, I'm with you.
I would trade a Arsenal Champions League victory, knowing that I'll never achieve that to get a USA World Cup.
No
Absolutely.
way.
Absolutely.
Jake, no
I would.
way.
Absolutely.
Please,
I
no
would-
way.
I would trade an Arsenal Champions League too.
I would agree to Arsenal champion. Actually, yeah.
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 Coming from a City fan, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you got left, man. That's all Pep has left.
yeah,
So
yeah. If he doesn't do it this year, is he ever going to do it?
I think if he doesn't do it this year, they need to sack him. But that's just me.
He
Well,
just signed it to a new deal, didn't he?
And I think his thing is, I'm being honest. I think Holland was what was missing from them, and if they had Holland last year, I think they do better for sure. Because they don't lose to Real Madrid if they have Holland last year. Period. They don't lose to them.
I don't know that the way Real finished those
No,
games. I just
Well,
You
here's
weren't
why I
keeping
say that.
Benzema from that title. Like, I'm sorry. We tried.
No.
We both
Yeah.
tried. We carved up both defenses like Swiss cheese and said, this is my year.
But
I'm taking it.
the reason I'm gonna disagree is because City didn't expect to win that first one. They won, and they were scoring in the next one, so it was goals in that game. And if you had consistency in front of there, and I mean, I'm not knocking Sterling. I appreciate everything he did for City, but you had Sterling and Jesus playing for City, and they don't score. If you had somebody who puts them in, I think City wins last year. But I mean, I have all respect to Real Madrid because that's scary. That's why that World Cup thing that I'm talking about of seeing you lose matters. And so I just think Real Madrid said, you're not beating us. And they showed that who they were, and you have to respect that. And so these teams here, these guys play for those teams and know that. And so I think Pep will quit if they win this year. Even though he did an extension, I think he will quit. I think that's what he's waiting for. I don't think he wants to manage a ton more. I think if he had won the Champions League any time before now, he would have quit right after that.
So if y'all
well,
do the
it's clear that the transition plan is he's going to take over for Berhalter after we win the World Cup, and there you go.
Dynasty,
There you go.
baby. Dynasty.
The fun
Well,
thing about that
that's
is
crazy because like you're not. I truly, in my heart of hearts, do not think City's going to win the league this year. I don't.
I don't even care. I'm gonna be
I
honest. I don't even
I
want to.
truly, in my heart of hearts, don't think City is going to win the Champions League this year.
That's
I
the
don't.
only one I want. I don't care about the league.
And I'm right there with you. That's I've been in a lot of seasons where the only thing I had left to care about was Champions League. But what I'm getting at is, honestly, I think it's the exact issue that City. Your point is spot on, but I think it's City's exact issue is they come into they are expected to be this good. They are expected to score these goals. They are expected to win these games. And I think that is as we move into these. Sure, we play third round FA Cup. It's third round. No one's going to take it that serious, but it is a Chelsea Man City. We just got knocked out by y'all. I think we're going to come for it. And I think y'all know we're going to come for it.
I think
So
so.
we're both going to, that's going to be another great game early on in these cups. When we get down into the nitty gritty of these Champions League games and we have to end up playing a PSG or, you end up playing a Bayern and you come up to these teams, I truly think Man City thinks that they're better than they are. And that's rich coming from me. I know. The thing is I don't think Holland's going to keep this pace. I don't. I think defenses are going to figure him out. I think there's going to be space.
Period, though, man. He already cooled off in the last 5 or 6 games, and he's been off for a month. I'm scared.
Well, here's
Yeah, he's gonna go off, especially with all these players that are playing in the World Cup. They're
I'm
gonna
scared.
come back. They're gonna be.
I don't think he is. I think I'm going the exact opposite. I think Holland's going to do exactly what every Premier League prolific striker did their first year, just like Drogba did the year he won, just like
Bro,
Henry
he's
did.
already blown all that out the water. He's already
He's
destroyed.
on pace to blow that out the water because he did better at the beginning. They all do this, they plateau, and then they dive. He
Well,
will do the exact same
But
thing.
Holland is, I could see that, but my issue, and this is where I think City will be fine, is, and everyone talks about this, but doesn't talk about it. Julian Alvarez is insanely good,
Yeah.
insanely good,
Fought
and
his
the
way
only
into the
reason
Argentina
nobody
team.
sees him is because Holland's there.
Mhm.
That's the only reason they don't see him.
Didn't he score yesterday?
Yeah,
They
he
did.
scored. And the Argentina looks completely
Massive goal.
different with him up front. He gets goals.
Didn't
And
I ask you about him in the second game?
yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is the other guy who I think Pep is going to do this in the second half, and then we can come back to the World Cup, is he's going to stick Foden on the other side with Alvarez and Holland. And Foden is scoring goals.
Yeah, you can't forget about Foden. He is deadly.
Yeah.
And
like-
so
He's
there's
a young
even,
talent. I like Phil Foden.
even if Holland doesn't score any more goals, they're going to get goals from Alvarez and Foden.
It blows
Yeah.
my mind that Grealish just can't get in that team.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, and I think X was going in this direction. The thing about Champions League, and I speak as a Chelsea fan, do you have that resolve? When you have the talent, do you have that resolve to battle back, or do you get shocked? I mean, that first Champions League for Chelsea, that team had no business,
None.
no business
Zero.
whatsoever.
Zero.
Andre Schurrell was our left mid, bro.
Yeah,
Kalu was playing center defensive mid.
Didier Drogba is a god because of that game.
Oh, he yeah.
Forever immortalized in my.
He needs like
entire-
4 statues at the bridge.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
that amazing. But my
Man
point
stopped
being
the
is
Civil War. The man stopped the Civil War.
exactly. And then he built a hospital. I mean, he's a saint.
Legend.
God.
I love that man.
Yeah, I love
but-
it. Yeah, he's the reason I'm a Chelsea fan.
Coming from a guy that hates
Same
his
here.
The
legend.
reason I'm a Chelsea fan is Didier Drogba. But
Same here. Same
but
here.
I only say all of this, and I want you to know this, Lewis, because I kind of am low key scared of City. I'm scared of what y'all have built. I'm
They're
scared
not.
of,
They're not.
I'm scared of what you have built. And I'm scared of the longevity you can keep this team with. They're all young. They're all
Yeah.
super young, and I'm worried about that because we're in that process now of getting these youngsters to really kind of mold into what the style is here, and y'all kind of beat the curve on it for us
Yeah.
and Liverpool. I would say Arsenal did well because they did it in the shadows. Y'all did it in the light. Y'all did it in front of everybody. Arsenal did it behind closed doors. They built this team for years and years and years and years. They're all still kind of young, but they're all firing. They all have that conglomerate.
Cohesiveness.
And then
Yeah.
y'all did it in the light and y'all did it fast. And like I said, y'all beat the curve on it. So yeah, it's worrisome when you're sitting in a top 4, top 5 place when we have to compete against you in every cup.
Well,
Huh?
It's not good for the rest of us.
No, right.
No.
I'm going to give Arsenal a ton of credit here because when I lived in Charlotte for a while, and I used to go to an Arsenal bar all the time, and to watch City games, and the guy who owned it would turn the City games on while I was there, and the Arsenal fans were cool with me. The funny thing about Arsenal is that I think their fans are so loyal, and I'm not talking about fan TV because they're crazy. They're so loyal that when Arteta went to City to kind of get the pep in him, and then he went back to Arsenal, and everyone was ready to fire him, and they gave him the patience they gave Pep after Pep's first season, and then City started sending guys down there that know the system. Arsenal, and I think City sees it because it was in the news where City did something where they're not going to sell to Arsenal anymore or something like that. They see what's there. They see what Arsenal's doing, and they're legit. And I'm not knocking Chelsea, but if I'm Chelsea, I'm worried about Arsenal more than I'm worried about City. And,
most definitely.
and my thing is that you made a point, which I think is a good point. City, it's something about City not being as good as they think they are. I agree, but I think it's because they're afraid of how good they could be. the city should be walking over teams.
Oh yeah.
That's how
Y'all,
good
the
they are.
best center. Y'all have the best center midfielder and probably the best striker in the game now.
Yeah.
We shouldn't get into this because they're better at every position. Who's the best center defensive midfielder in the league? He's playing center back for Spain right now.
Laporte is wonderful. He's a
Healthy
wonderful.
and N'Golo Kante.
No, I'm talking about Rodri. Rodri is the best.
I thought you said center back. Okay, yeah, I got you.
No, I'm talking about in the Premier League.
Yeah.
The best center
Kante.
person playing center defensive
Oh,
mid
Rodri
right
is-
now is
yeah.
Rodri.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that over Thomas Partey, who's had an incredible season. Rodri has because everybody's quietly had a great season at City except for Haaland, because he's just not quiet about it. But they're just better than everybody all over the field, and it's really unfortunate. And I wish some of their players would stay at the World Cup a bit
Well,
longer.
it's funny because is as a City fan, the backup keeper that City fans don't want Ederson to start anymore. The backup keeper, everyone is enamored with him. They love him because he's a better shot stopper than Ederson.
The
Like,
American.
Insane at distribution, but he's not a shot stopper.
Yeah, I don't know. Ederson's a monster,
Yeah, he is.
and there's only one person on the planet that could keep him from starting for Brazil.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Alisson
that's
insane.
Allison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at I noticed that the other day. I was watching Brazil and I was like, why isn't Ederson playing? And I
That's-
looked at it, I was like,
Yeah.
that's why. That's why.
That Magnum stash he's rocking.
Well, he might probably will play tomorrow if
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 He'll probably play tomorrow.
They'll give him one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even a little bit of a drop off. Like it's
No.
No, yeah.
yeah.
If not,
Yeah, they're
Yeah, pretty. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll bring it back round to the World Cup. And speaking of one of my favorite memes that I've seen in this World Cup was a certain somebody. The meme was that 70% of the Earth is covered in water. Tyler Adams covers the other 30%.
It really feels that way. The
Oh,
dude
man.
is all
He's-
over the place.
Monster. And like low-key, he's the reason we've competed in every game, I think, personally. Jude Bellingham was in his pocket the whole England game. Like, Bellingham was really good against Iran. He was really good against Wales. He didn't do anything against
He had
US.
one run against the US and it resulted in absolutely nothing. But I mean, it was a good run. But Tyler Adams, the dude's making money. I mean, how does Leeds hold on to him after this?
They have to.
I-
Oh my God, they have to.
they won't.
Nah, I don't think they do. I think a team goes to get him.
They
won't.
have to. But
I
who's
mean,
it?
he is.
Liverpool?
Newcastle.
Who is it? City
I could see Newcastle. Yeah.
City don't need him.
No.
He's as much as I would love to see an American in the starting lineup at Arsenal. He's not starting over Partey.
We could use a center defensive
Yeah,
mid, to
we
be honest,
could.
bro.
Chelsea has
God, yes.
they have 1,000 in name, but they don't have it.
We have none.
We're done. That's our problem. Is the midfield.
We have no midfield, but we have 10 midfielders listed every freaking week. Don't get it.
Aubameyang is also only forward. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. No, but
Anywho,
I've been saying it all
Yeah.
season long, man. Tyler Adams. I love the Leeds United States of America. They're
Leeds United.
my second team in the league for sure. You got to love Jesse Marsh. I love the interview he gave on Men in Blazers talking about the U.S. versus Netherlands. That was pretty cool.
Oh, I missed that one. I need to go back and watch it.
It was today, so
It was
yeah,
today.
it was today. But I think that I also love the response that Christian Pulisic gave when they asked him. He said, "They go." That was kind of a Landon Donovan 2010 moment. Like, that was a really epic moment, don't you think? And he goes, I really hope I haven't had my Landon Donovan moment yet. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Do you think Chelsea?
Do what?
Do you think Captain America needs to leave Chelsea?
Yes.
He needs to be played at Chelsea.
No,
That's
he
why I'm
needs-
saying does he need to
He
leave
needs to
because
leave Chelsea. He
'Cause I
does
don't-
not fit into our squad anymore. He never should have came to Chelsea. Ever. He should have never been brought. If you're going to buy him, Sterling, and Ziyech all within the same year, and I know Sterling came after, but if you're going to buy those three players, you are telling one of them, if not, and Havertz, you're telling two of them they're sitting.
But I mean, with an American owner, does he get rid of him?
I don't think so.
Didn't he
But
adapt
I mean, it
to
seems
role?
like
He's
that
not
they are
gonna-
shopping him.
Yeah, he's not going to stay if he's not going to play, and he doesn't make the squad over Raheem Sterling. He doesn't. There's not in no world.
Do you think if Potter ever changes his formation to have a genuine number 10 that they could adapt Pulisic to the 10 role? Because he tries to come back and make plays for USA even from the wing.
Yeah.
So he kind of has that playmaker gene in him.
Well, it's just that we've played him in that for. I mean, I know he plays. We've played him out on that wing the entire time we've had him,
Mm-hmm.
and we've kind of cornered him into. If you're not going to play this wing, then you're not going to upset him because he's not. Again, he's not going to start over Mount. He's not going to get a place over Georgie. He's not going to get a place over Kova. Like he doesn't fit into the middle of our field, and he's been outbought on our wings. So yes, I think he's good. Yes, I think he could benefit any team he goes to. We overstacked his position with players who cost a lot more and will sell more and will bring in more. That it's not, especially you're not again, like my only thing is who you sit Christian Pulisic for is Raheem Sterling. In England, you're not doing that.
I mean, if you're Potter though, and this performance in the World Cup, I mean, he literally, I think he gave
it raises
he
his
gave a
stock
testament
to
for the
Chelsea
cause.
themselves.
So, like, does that not raise his stock in Potter's eyes? His performance
For the paycheck they can cash in for him on January or next transfer window. That's what I think.
Well, where would he go? I mean, does he go back to Germany?
We do. Well, no, I think he might head over. We have such a good relationship with Atletico. We're trying to make deals happen with. We have such a good relationship with Lespeg and Borussia. He could end up in a. I think he goes to Spain. I think he probably ends up in an Atletico Madrid because we have that relationship with them.
Would he get wasted though? Because the way they play negative football there, man.
We want Felix though. We want Felix.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Felix is, in our eyes, Felix is more phenomenal than Christian Pulisic could be. And Felix could support Yachty up front. But we're not because we got Nkuku coming. We got Kuku's brother.
And Felix
Cucurero's
just,
brother, Nkuku. I think those two are going to work off each other better than Alba and Pulisic could. And I think that's just the line Chelsea's going to go with. I think he could end up at Atletico in a swap deal with Felix because I don't think we're going to pay $60 million for him. He's not worth that. We know that. So that's just that's my kind of foresight to it. I don't think he stays here. I don't. As much as I'd like him to, he doesn't play. I don't think he'll stay. He's
He doesn't get any time.
well, hopefully he can come through. He can continue to come through for the States like he does.
Oh yeah.
Big game against Virgil van Disney, and he
Yeah.
might convert me, man. He might convert me over to somewhat of a supporter for Pulisic City over here.
Who starts down the middle though? This is a huge one because Josh Sargent is injured. Josh Sargent, did you remember the challenge where his knee like went in the wrong?
Yeah.
It was really gross. And then I saw
stepped on the
something that said
ball.
McKennie was like nursing a quad thing too. So we got a couple of doubts.
I still think McKinney plays. You can't. I mean, I don't think you mess with the MMA.
No.
You can't.
But he might come off at halftime again.
Well, I mean, if he does, that's different. But I mean, you can't mess with that. But of course, you know, Greg went and played, you know, CCV out of nowhere, and
he had a fantastic game.
He did. I tell you though, it drove me crazy because he was so nonchalant about everything.
Casual. Looking like Reece James out there, man. Absolutely casual. Oh yeah, it was totally reminded me of Reece James for sure.
But you know, going back to the what you play up top, you can't play Haji. He's terrible. I mean, you can't. You got to play either play Jesus or you play Weah in the middle.
What if you slide Weah and play Reyna Pulisic.
See, I don't think we're
going
going to see Reyna. It seems like his injury is way too much for him to play much.
Would they play a false nine?
That's what,
I don't think Berhalter will, but I think it could work. I don't think Berhalter will do that, but I think it definitely could work.
I
Because
just feel like they might sit back against them.
yeah,
I
I
don't
thought the
know.
Netherlands were going to sit against the U.S. and say
Yeah.
4-1 if you can.
Right. I think they're going to come at the USA. So I'm thinking if they sit back and play for the counter, that might be the answer.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. Netherlands have underwhelmed a bit.
They
Yeah.
have-
And if not for Gakpo, they might be in.
They wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be in the next round without him.
Right.
So.
I really hope he does not make a horrible career decision and go to Manchester. I swear to God.
They're
It's
I'm low-key a Gakpo
they're
fan.
circling.
I
They're
like-
swirling
I like-
around.
They're swirling, yeah.
I freaking hope not.
Well, here's the big question, I think. Here's a big question about this USA-Netherlands game that it's been in a lot in the media. USA have yet to trail.
Mm.
We've yet to take a gut punch and be down. And it's more likely than against anyone. Well, I mean, we did. I mean, I don't know. England were just negative. But
Right. I was about to say, if it were to happen, it would have happened in the England game.
Yeah.
so, but I think Netherlands, we might be a goal down at some point. And does this USA squad have the comeback power?
No,
It's a big
I don't
question.
think so.
It's a big question.
You look at, I think, and this is two sides of the same coin. I know I was just ragging on your boy. Christian does have big game mentality. He
Oh,
does.
it's not even that.
He scored in the champs for us. He's took us through groups.
Yeah.
He scored in the U.S. against, he's had some big game mentality to him, even before the cup and going in back through. So I think if it's, it's what we kind of talked about before all of this, is the pressure when that moment comes, does Christian have that land again, that hope my Landon Donovan moment hasn't happened. Does he have it in him to dig deep enough and go, no, I have the talent. I have the ability. I can score on Virgil van Disney. It's okay.
now
I love that, by the way.
at these Dutch results. And
That's all Jake came up. We were
I
texting.
love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I was over.
I'm looking at these Dutch results, and man, one stood out. They played Wales 2 times since June, and they struggled against them. I mean, they won both times, but Wales was getting goals on them. And I mean, I know it's a different time, but it was a tournament, and I feel like if we can run what we need to do, and we can get a quick early goal, I think there's something in there. Now, again, I don't think they're gonna beat them, but if we can get one, I'm easily swayed. I won't flip flop.
I believe we can win for sure. I think we have what it takes, and there's not if you look at all of U.S. soccer history, never before in a game of this magnitude have we, even on paper, been as close to our opponent in a knockout game.
Yeah.
And as far as the talk around it, as far as the feeling around it, we definitely those guys definitely fancy their shot. There's no fear factor. We were more scared of England than we are afraid of Netherlands. And I think we could take them. Especially, I've seen, speaking of Van Disney, we've seen some shocking things this season. He's had some good performances, showed up in versus City, but he's not
the 100% and 197 stopped runs in a row Van Disney anymore, right?
He's worth a shocker, and I think if maybe someone like Jesus Ferreira might be a game changer, might be able to get one. I might be able to see us on versus Messi, Argentina.
My concern is just where the goals come from. I mean, I just without us having a true 9, I mean, I know that there's attacking talent behind it, but man, it just
It's
at
Mexico
times
problem.
you just
I mean,
watch.
Mexico's in here.
You times you watch and you're just like, how do we not score there? How do we not at least get a shot on goal there? And
Romelu Lukaku's asking the same exact thing right now.
Probably Lukaku is drunk right now.
Oh, you have to be.
Already.
You have to be. Oh man. But yeah.
World Cup's about individuals, right? The World Cup,
Yep.
teams win off the back of crazy individual performances in the World Cup. It's kind of more so than club for sure. And, we have an individual. We have somebody
Yeah.
that has stepped up. He got the assist in the first game, scored the goal, put it all on the line, went to the freaking hospital. I mean, he's got to step up again. He's got to be the man. And he's showing that, like you say, he's got that gene.
Right.
So, and it's only, it is what it is. It's one game. It's one game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hopeful for it. I really am. I was down on this team coming in because I thought, how are we going to score? How are we going to do this? And I even told you I thought that England was going to be the 3-1, and what they showed me against England made me a believer in this team. But I just still struggle with, if we go down a goal, can we get 2 goals? And I'm not so sure we can.
Also, I think it's something to account for, because we haven't. We've talked about managers a little bit, but Van Gaal is the manager, and I would say that tactics-wise, you can kind of see what he does, and I think knowing the manager, because obviously he went to United and then went back, and so there's enough of that United mediocrity on him that I feel like it's possible that you pull one out. And I don't mean as it's separating from myself, but for the boys, I think if they can get an early goal, I would not be shocked if the United States beats the Netherlands.
And kind of going back to what you said earlier about the whole France-Tunisia thing, like, this team's playing with a lot of confidence.
Flying high right now.
And so maybe that leads them.
Senegal get a draw. And
they did see Senegal get a draw.
The team that you wouldn't expect take a point off of Netherlands.
Do you want to take the Netherlands to all the way? You want to take the Netherlands all the way through and just PK it?
No, I don't think.
Nah.
I don't think the USA wants to go to PKs.
No.
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 I don't think we want to see penalties.
They have 5 people that's going to line up and legitimately.
Yeah, they.
the veins.
Cody Gakpo, Memphis Depay. Yeah, Dumfries will probably take one.
De Jong
will take one.
Frankie De Jong will step up. Yeah, I think they'll be fine with penalties. But speaking of Senegal, they're gonna have to like their chances, probably for the same reason. USA,
do it for money.
England aren't infallible. So and Senegal, man, they've got that World Cup emotion.
Yeah, they do.
They've got that.
I love their crowd. I'm telling you.
I do feel really bad for them, though. I do not see their defense holding anything against this squad that's about to come through.
Not even your boy, Kubley, the hero.
He actually came alive for once.
No.
I didn't even know that he could do that. It was really good technique too. That's the thing.
Didn't he score against Tottenham? Didn't he score in that game that Cuckoo got overshadowed because Cuckoo's still missing hair? But didn't he score a screamer in that game? Koulibaly.
Ice in his veins. Yaya Toure. Banger.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
They're
my man played. Yeah. I just know I do not think that they're cohesively going to be able to hold what's about to come for them.
Well, who starts? Do you think because
finally see Foden in the starting lineup,
and he switched it up to Rashford Foden, and they
Rashford gets the start. Rashford.
Oh, he has to.
Tournament. I think the whole Manchester United squad we'll just say disappear.
Bro, they've been the best for England. Harry Maguire,
Yeah.
Rashford, Luke Shaw's had a decent tournament.
Shaw's had a needs to tournament, right?
So Casemiro, it's not England, but more United players. Casemiro's been lights out. Fred's
Casemiro is not a United player. Casemiro will forever be. He's a rent. He's a mercenary right now. He is not a Man United player.
get out of here, bro. He's just put his name up in Brazilian samba lights.
Yeah.
Dude, legend.
But what? Yes.
Yeah, that goal was
I think
ridiculous.
Rashford
All the
gets
trophies
this
he's
start
got.
so fast. He has to. He's had an amazing group. He gets the start. He deserves it.
Yeah.
I think Rashford starts as well.
Rashford
Has
has
to.
to.
I
That's it.
And I think Foden should as well. I think
Yeah.
I do think Foden should as well. They worked very
He won't. You know Southgate loves his favorites. It'll
Yeah.
be Sterling.
like, yeah, I
Your
don't,
boy.
it'll be my boy.
I don't see him sitting Sterling 2 games.
No. Sterling would pitch such
How
a
does Sterling have the 10 shirt in that England squad?
Such a-
Like what?
because Mason Mount chose 19, which is his Chelsea jersey.
Gotta say it, man. Mount doesn't deserve to start for England.
What?
What has he done? What's he done?
He's been pedestrian this tournament. He has been.
He's gotten lost, just like he's gotten lost every game for Chelsea. Just completely goes missing.
You'll see.
I agree.
Jude
We
Bellingham.
haven't seen the same
Bellingham's
Mason
had
Mount in 2 years.
Even Jordan Hendo had a better game versus Wales than Mount.
Ooh, them fighting words.
I mean, I understand you love him, but he goes missing from games. He really does, and maybe that's Potter's, weird rotation scheme that they've got going on. You play so much wing backs up that Mount doesn't know where to go.
Right.
But he disappeared for England, and I would not be surprised if it's Hendo, Bellingham, Rice.
I can see that.
Huh?
But Mountain and Rice are BFFs, so that might keep him in the starting
Mount's
lineup.
not sitting, bro. I'm telling you, Mount's gonna get Mount's playing. Like
So
Yeah,
Bellingham's playing,
Rashford
Mount's playing, Rashford's playing.
I don't think he starts Foden. I really don't.
No, Sterling. I think you're exactly right. I think Sterling is not going to be on that.
He's not going to bench him again. I can't see that.
The amount of drama that would happen in that locker room if you benched Raheem Sterling twice is well enough worth not benching him twice.
just send
We'd
him
have
home.
a France situation, or maybe a Belgium situation. Did y'all see those stories?
All kinds of stuff, man.
How much they hated each other.
Did you hear the comment that Vertonghen made? So De Bruyne says the defense is too old,
Yeah.
and then before this game, Vertonghen goes, "Oh, they're not scoring. I guess they're too old." To the media. And then there was a bust up in the locker room. Lukaku's having to break up a fight.
The funny thing is, but they looked like trash the whole time. So I'm not following where Vertonghen could even be angry because they looked like trash. And the funny thing is that again, when we talked about this, I don't know if De Bruyne said that tongue in cheek, but obviously there's truth in every joke you tell. And he saw what was going on and he got crucified for it. And then it came out and looked old.
All of them. Not
Has
just
it-
that line, though, all of them. And I thought it was interesting that, maybe a little bit of punishment. Hazard, Eden Hazard didn't come on till like the 84th.
Yeah.
He shouldn't even, if I'm being
Put
honest,
him up front instead of Lukaku.
he shouldn't have been playing. Hazard shouldn't be playing anyways. He's past it.
I mean, yes, my man's had one too many cheeseburgers. Did you hear that reporter ask him about being fat?
No, I didn't.
No.
Oh, they fat shamed him. Oh my god.
Bro, go look it up. It's bad.
Oh,
And then she asked for like a picture with him, and he straight told her no. He was like, no.
can't get out of Qatar quick enough. Good grief.
Get me out of here. Yo.
So hey,
Oh, be back to Spain. This is awful.
there was also an issue in Serbia's camp because 2 of the players slept with 2 of the other players' wives or something.
Sounds like Serbia.
Oh yeah, Chicharito Hernandez didn't come because he had a bunch of hookers at his apartment or something.
Again. I told you about this.
Well, you know the funny
Leave
thing
my man
is
alone.
now a running joke that me and some of my friends who talk about soccer outside of this conversation had. We were like, "How do you have a World Cup without escorts?" I'm
Yeah.
you PG. How do you have one without that, right?
Yeah.
And so
It's
you did.
Qatar, I'll tell you that.
You wonder how they do it because the wild what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas kind of mentality got taken away from them. So a lot of those guys probably weren't having fun. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why Belgium didn't play well because there were no like extramarital
When it
things
was in
going on.
Brazil, Belgium was firing. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, there's data there. There's data there. You are right, sir.
I saw a video of Argentina fans celebrating at the stadium, and I'm pretty sure I saw Corona, like a Corona beer.
Sneaking
they
it
probably
in, man.
snuck some stuff in.
Yeah, you're not gonna not you. I went to a dry campus.
We've all been to the concert where you just got something
Yeah, you know.
pants leg or something.
Well, you know
I
the
would tunnel it in.
a quick
Pablo Escobar style, under the stadium. Meet me under the fifth stand. I got you.
you got to be careful though, man, because I mean, a quick humanitarian thing. I saw there was a news article after the Iranian players didn't sing the national anthem that apparently their families were threatened that if they did not sing the anthem, that harm would come to them. So
Yeah.
that's what they
Aren't they
do. for
being
a
threatened
song.
with being arrested when they get home?
No,
Yeah.
they sang in that third game. I don't know if you noticed that, but they sang the anthem for the third game.
Aren't they
Really?
being like? Aren't they gonna get arrested when they get home? Like,
Did
there's
y'all
like
see the videos of the people in Iran celebrating because they lost?
Yeah.
I would sing. I would have tattoos of the Iranian flag on me. I'm
Right.
not messing with those
You
people,
got the
man.
Islamic Republic signal
I
under
am
your
the most
side.
Iranian. Right, I am the most Iranian Iran has ever seen. That'd be me.
It's Iran, Xavier.
Iran.
Sorry,
I
Iran.
I would be the poster boy, Captain Iran, Captain. Iran.
Sure.
I'll have the shield and everything. You're not.
Oh
Well,
man.
there's only segues are weird, but there's only one day left of the group stage. Do we think it's going to be as crazy as today was?
I do. I do.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
think
yeah.
I don't, to be honest with you. I think the first games or the Brazil group, I think is going to go exactly like we expect.
Yeah.
Switzerland don't have enough. Serbia have Mitrovic. Cameroon don't have enough to beat Brazil's backups. So I think
Yeah.
No, Brazil's brought two starting squads. There's no backups.
Yeah.
It's
The
just
other-
it's
It's no A-B squad. It's A1 and A2.
A1 and A1 one.
Yeah.
A1.1.
And they learned from
1.1.
Yeah.
We learned from
That's the question. Yeah. That's the question.
I
It's the
think
other games though.
Yeah, well, I think Portugal loses to South Korea. I'm going out on that limb.
Wow. Okay.
I think Uruguay.
Of course,
I think Ghana wins against Uruguay.
I think they draw.
You think so? I think Ghana wins. Yeah. I like that
Yeah,
Ghana team.
I
They
don't know
are
if that's good
fun.
enough for Ghana. A draw would be good enough for Ghana, as long as Korea doesn't win by 2.
I do think I don't think they'll like smack Portugal.
Oh,
But
speaking of Ghana, sorry. Continue, man. I just remembered what I was going to tell y'all.
Go for it. I love it.
Sorry. Did y'all see the Ghana coach that went up to Son, took a picture with him as he's crying?
yeah, he fanboyed him. That was hilarious.
Oh my god.
And then he was looking confused about why he didn't want to take the picture with him. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Dude, he's crying. He's literally got tears coming down his face.
You're talking about someone who's so patriotic. He goes and he goes and signs up for the military in the middle of a prem. Like, yeah, he's gonna cry. Like, yeah.
It was the most savage thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I mean,
Sorry, Louis.
The Arsenal fan in me was like, but that's a bit much.
I don't know, man.
Sonny's already having a so-so season, so we don't need to.
Jake already knows I'm a
Too much.
huge Valverde fan. I want Uruguay to do well.
Bro, they have the most dire spot, man.
I know.
I
don't know how they're there. I don't know how they're there. They all speak the same language, so Nunez no longer has any excuses. None.
Because they're not good.
Yeah, I mean, Valverde is probably their brightest spot because Nunez is I don't rate him as much
You
as
think Liverpool made a $56 million mistake?
I mean, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been there. That just sucks for Klopp.
Well, here's why I think they made it, because they could have kept Mane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really that simple. That money that you paid for a new player, you could have kept Mane.
Yeah, that's fair. They should have.
That's fair.
Should
That's
have.
very valid. That is probably the best. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's actually more than a $56 million mistake. That's probably how much is Mane worth? 80?
Yeah.
Mane's invaluable, man.
Invalid 100 plus like
The way
Anthony was 100 million.
gives to any squad,
Yeah.
is invaluable.
Yeah, I would agree.
And the
That's
style of
that's a great
football,
point, yeah.
like the style he plays, he fits Klopp perfectly. And you brought somebody who you didn't know if he fit Klopp or not.
We should have brought in Darwin. We're used to a big brute 9. All we do is stick him up there and feed him. That's all we had to do. We should have brought Darwin.
They took a worker out of the team and put in a statue, just a target guy.
It didn't make any sense. It was
Right.
weird.
Right.
Like, what was Klopp doing?
They're just wishing he was Giroud.
Yeah. Well, there's only one.
There's only one.
We should have kept Giroud.
A man. How do you? I mean, there's very few players, very, very few players that are beloved by rival squads, by rival teams.
Petr Cech for us, Giroud for us.
Yeah.
Petr Cech for us is Giroud for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Giroud for us. He came
Fabregas.
after
Fabregas. Yeah.
Fabregas. I love Fabregas.
us.
Yeah,
Again,
that's amazing.
Fabregas played with Thierry Henry. Don't get it twisted, baby.
Fabregas
Don't
played
get
with
that twisted. I had that
Fabregas
jersey in my
Hazard. Don't get it wrong.
Oh, whoa. Don't even begin to put Eden Hazard next to Henry, dude. My hands won't fit in the screen because the comparison is that different.
Hey, Fabregas got to play with Drogba, though, so you know.
You brought it back to Belgium a little
That's
bit.
closer.
That hurt my feelings to see the picture of Henry consoling Lukaku.
Oh,
How could you have Henry teaching you anything, and that's what you did in the game?
You did, yeah.
6 times.
Yeah, that's out of control.
Donkey foot. That's how.
I think on the donkey foot we'll have to go ahead and cut it there. We're already hour and 20 in. But I've definitely had fun. We'll definitely be back again before the World Cup's over. Plenty more action coming our way. Again, this has been the For the Badge podcast. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get all the notifications for the new stuff. We definitely got more coming before the World Cup's over. Again, hope y'all are enjoying it as much as I am. Have a good night.